Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyanam. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Vritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva manusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavatveshini. O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Arjuna, the ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters, O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. The Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga 11th Adhyaya of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and Arjuna has now understood who is my friend, Lord Krishna, whom I consider to be my Sarathi, my charioteer. He is not just Krishna. With the great universal form, with the great Vishwarupa Darshan, he has given me this vision out of his compassion, out of his grace. By giving that divya drishti, by giving that divine sight, he has made it possible for me to have a look at that Vishwarupa. And having seen all those wonderful things in that Vishwarupa, in that universal form of the Lord, now I have realized he is not an ordinary being confined in this human form. He is not just the Krishna that I am every day spending time with, that I am playing with, that I am talking with. He is not just limited to that physical human form that I have been seeing all these years with my eyes. Now I realize he is Akshara, he is Avyaya, he is Adi Madhya Antam. He has no beginning, no middle, no end. And Ananta Viryam, he is the entity, he is that universal being with immense power. The power, the prowess, the valor, which is uncomparable. It is again Ananta. Limitless is his power. Anadi Madhyam, Ananta Viryam, Ananta Bahum, Shashi Surya Netram. And he is a person, he is that ultimate Lord with innumerable arms, with innumerable hands, and with the sun and moon like his eyes. Shashi Surya Netram, Pashyami Tvam Dipta Hutasha Vaktram. And I am seeing all that fire emitting from his mouth, blazing fire emitting from his mouth, as if to burn the whole thing that is around. That terrible. And Swatejasa Vishwam idam tapantam. Vishwam idam tapantam, this entire universe is heating up by the great radiance of yours, Swatejasa. Of that great brilliance, of that great tej, this entire universe as if is heating up, and I am able to realize the universe because of that heating up on account of that great radiance of the Lord. So that is what Arjuna has now realized, and he is telling Sri Krishna about it. And he has also told us this is what is there in that universal form. Now, is that all? Not at all. Now, Arjuna further says, dyāv ā-pṛithivyor idam antaraṁ hi vyāptaṁ tvayaikena diśhaśh sarvāḥ. dṛiṣhṭvādbhutaṁ rūpam ugraṁ tavedaṁ loka-trayaṁ pravyathitaṁ Mahatman. Now Arjuna is talking about that terrible form that he has seen. He has seen the good part, the soothing part, the silent part of all those gods and goddesses and the stars and moons in that universal form. He has seen all those, not so aggressive things. But now he has also seen the aggressive things in that universal form, that fire just emitting, the blazing fire emitting from the mouth of the Lord. That Arjuna has seen. That dyāv. His mouth is emitting blazing fire. That terrible form also now he has seen. Now Arjuna says, dyāv ā-pṛithivyor idam antaraṁ. Dyāv ā-pṛithivyor. Dyāv is the heavens, the space between heaven and earth. This antaraṁ, idam antaraṁ, the distance, the whatever space is there between the heavens and the earth, is also indeed filled with your universal form, filled with you. So there is no space which is left out, even the interspace between the heaven and the earth. Dyāv ā-pṛithivyor idam antaraṁ hi vyāptaṁ tvayaikena diśhaśh sarvāḥ. All around, diśhaśh sarvāḥ, all quarters that we find in this universe, the up and down, the east, west, north, south, all the quarters of this universe, they are filled with you. Vyāptaṁ tvayaikena, only with you, all this space, interspace between the earth and the heavens, and all the quarters, they are all filled with you. Wherever I look, I see you and nothing but you, that universal form. And it is so terrifying at times. That dṛiṣhṭvādbhutaṁ rūpam ugraṁ tavedaṁ. You are wondrous, that magnificent, that adbhutam. Having seen that adbhuta, rūpam ugraṁ, that terrible form, that not so pleasant to see, not so pleasant to look at. Now, who will like God, the Lord, seeing the Lord and that fire, that blazing fire emitting from his mouth? Who won't get terrified? Because that fire is going to destroy everything. Having seen that ugra, having seen that terrible form. Now Arjuna says, loka-trayaṁ, pravyathitaṁ Mahatman. Oh Mahatman. Now Arjuna also referring to Krishna as Mahatman, like Sanjay had referred to Krishna as Mahatman. He is the ultimate Atman. He is the supreme most Atman. He is the supreme most Paramatman. He is the Mahatman. And Arjuna is saying that, oh Mahatman, loka-trayaṁ pravyathitaṁ, all the three worlds of heaven, earth and hell, all the three worlds, they are terrified, they are trembling with fear. Pravyathitaṁ. They are trembling with fear, having seen this terrible form of yours. Having understood this terrible form of yours, even the three worlds, forget about me, I am terrified. Forget about me, even the three worlds, having known you in that, having known that terrible form of yours, emitting the blazing fire from your mouths. I am myself terrified, but even the three worlds they are shaking with fear that you are ultimately going to devour the whole thing. You are ultimately going to destroy this entire creation. Now I am aware of this fact. Now I realize this fact. Now what? There is a meaning of Arjuna's saying these things to Krishna. Arjuna in the first adhyaya, who had got into that disposition of Vishada, he had got totally frustrated, dejected and demoralized at the thought of waging a war against his own cousins. Howsoever evil they did, howsoever wrong they did, howsoever ills they perpetrated upon these Pandavas. But with a meek mind, Arjuna, he got into that position of dejection, of that delusion, and he decided not to fight. He just slumped down on the floorboard of the chariot and saying, I cannot fight anymore. Now he is realizing this terrible form of the Lord, which is going to devour everything. So why not fight then? This is what the learning, this is what the understanding, this is what the realization that Arjuna is getting after seeing that terrible form of the Lord. The space between heaven and earth and all the quarters are filled with you alone. Wherever I look, I see that universal form of yours. There is nothing in this universe which is not filled by you. All the quarters, all the directions, all the interspaces, they are all filled with you. Having seen this, your marvelous, your wondrous and terrible form, the three worlds are trembling with fear, O Mahatman, O great Atman. These three worlds are trembling with fear because now they know that you are going to devour all the things. Arjuna now realizes that the Lord is all pervading. Not only Lord is imperishable, not only Lord is Akshara or Avyaya. Now Arjuna has realized his this all pervading nature of the Lord. That he has filled all the quarters. Tvayaikena diśhaśh sarvāḥ. And dyāv ā-pṛithivyor idam antaraṁ. Whatever interspace is there in this universe, everything and all the quarters of this universe are filled with you. This is the realization that Arjuna has had of all pervading nature of the Lord. The Lord is not only all charm and sweetness, and now Arjuna has also realized. It is not that this universal form of the Lord is all goody-goodies. All charm, sweetness, coolness, pleasant to look at. No, there has also a terrible side of it, a terrible angle to it. This form also has a terrible side to it. This form, this universal form also has a very desperate side to it, which is frightening. To look at. Who would love to see who will be pleased to see the fire emitting from all those mouths of the Lord? Till the mouth is smiling, we are all so comfortable, we are at peace, just seeing that smiling form of the Lord. But the same Lord, when starts emitting fire from all the mouth, then that form becomes terrible to look at. That form becomes so frightening to look at that even the three worlds, they start trembling with fear. Of the opposites, this experience of the one or the other comes to beholder only to reflect his own frame of mind. So, in Arjuna's own frame of mind, he has seen the good side and the terrifying side. He has seen the soothing and pleasing side and also the frightening side of the great form of the Lord. Arjuna sees this terrible form of the Lord quite in tune with his disposition. Now that he is frightened, he was frightened to think about the consequences of the war. He was frightened to think about all these warriors on both the sides. They getting destroyed, and that's why he had got so frightened. And that fright, that fear that is there inside Arjuna, that fear is making him see that terrible form. What is there in us, we see outside also. Arjuna had that fear. Till the time Arjuna had goodness in his heart, he could see the pleasant things in that form. He saw all the gods, the goddesses, all those beautiful things in the Lord. But now that he also has that fear, that fright. Now Arjuna he has realized there is a terrible side to the universal form of Lord. Also, there is also a frightening side to that form. He who did not want to create a ghastly war scene now realizes that with or without his instrumentality, the Lord has assumed this terrific form to purge the world of evils. Whether he wants to wage the war, whether he wants to fight the war or not, Lord is already in that position. Lord has already taken that stance of devouring all the evil with those fires, dazzling fires emitting from his mouth. This is now Arjuna has realized. Whether I fight or not, Lord is already going to do it. It is already there in the agenda of the Lord that no evil will ever survive this creation. No wretchedness, no wrongdoing, no ills will ever survive this creation, in this creation. And Lord is already ready with that. So that is the terrible side that Arjuna now has started seeing about the Lord. Not just goody-goodies, not just pleasant and calm and smiling face of the Lord, but also that terrible and frightening form of the Lord. That is what the Lord is. The moment he gives birth, he sustains, it is all good and nice. My friend, my bosom friend, my dear brother and all that. But the moment of destruction of the evil comes. Why only evil? Even the destruction, drawing back of the universes, that moment comes. The Lord has to take up that terrible form. The Lord has to take up that frightening form, which trembles all the three worlds, and all the three worlds, they start trembling with fear looking at this frightening form of the Lord, that now the end is going to come. So that was another realization of Arjuna, that the Lord has got a frightening side also, whether you like it or not. It is not just the pleasant, but also the Lord has frightening. The Lord has that terrible side to its universal form. So that was the 20th shloka that Arjuna explained to us, to accept the fact that yes, Lord is good and calm and soothing and smiling, but Lord is also terrible and frightening. And with that understanding, having known that terrible and frightening form of the Lord, even the three worlds, they start trembling with fear. So that was the 20th shloka of the Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga of the Bhagavad Gita, the 11th adhyaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur Jai Ma. Jai Swami.